Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the art of savoring, right? So we've talked for so long about how do you cope with negative emotions? How do you deal with the anxiety and overwhelm that the pandemic has presented? But today we're going to talk about the flip side of that coin of life experience. We're not going to talk about coping, we're going to talk about savoring. And savoring is about really noticing, acknowledging, and amplifying the good stuff. So I want to talk to you about 4 different types of savoring, and I'm going to be referencing Joseph Verrett and Fred Bryant's research. They actually wrote a book called Savoring, A New Model of Positive Experience, and you can check that out. But there's 4 types of savoring, and I want, as I'm talking to you about it, for you to think about how can I apply this both at work and at home, because the more that we can amplify our positive emotions, the more we support our overall well-being. We know from Barbara Fredrickson, whose theory is broaden and build, the more we experience positive emotions, the more our performance improves, the more our relationships improve, our longevity even improves. So it's only in support of our well-being that we can actively turn our attention towards the positive. And of course, I always talk about, and you can reference my other videos on YouTube about the importance of acknowledging negative emotion. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit subscribe, do that little bell so you know when my videos come out. But we know that it's important to acknowledge all emotion. But what happens is we have something called a negativity bias. Negativity bias means that anything bad, wrong, or threatening is like Velcro to our attention. And so we tend to stay very stuck to the bad stuff. And so we need to actively, consciously move our attention to also to savor the sweet stuff, right? Especially because that's what's going to help us get through this moment. All right, so 4 types of savoring. The first type of savoring I want to talk to you about is luxuriating. And this is just the pleasures of life, the simple, small, they can be big, but an example would be those first few minutes that you sink into a warm bath, or taking a sip of a cold beer on a hot day, or biting into a delicious truffle, or putting on silk pajamas and getting into your comfy bed, right? So whatever it is that just gives you some comfort in this time. And so by savoring, we're really just acknowledging those moments and just enjoying them. Okay, another type of savoring is marveling, which is our sense of awe. So marveling at a beautiful sunset, or what I've been doing lately is marveling at how fast the cucumbers in my garden are growing. Every day I go into my garden just to get that sense of marvel, because I've never gardened before and I can't believe how fast things grow. So how can you marvel and be in awe? Nature is always a great place to marvel, whether it's a sunset or stars in the sky, or even marveling at a child's laughter and their innocence, right? Or marveling at your coworkers' strengths and how they are resilient. So there's many ways to marvel. And then basking. Basking is about taking pride, really receiving praise and allowing it to wash over you. If you did a good job and you're proud of how you presented, just really taking a moment to bask in that glory of like all your hard work paying off. And the 4th type of savoring that we can do, Verrett and Bryant call it Thanksgiving. And it's not the Thanksgiving meal, but it's just the sensation of being flooded with gratitude. And so we know there's so much to be grateful for right now, right? The selfless service of frontline healthcare workers, of all essential workers, of how they're showing up, of how neighbors are showing up for one another, right? So there's so much to be grateful for in this time, just really feeling flooded with gratitude that you have food in your fridge, that you still have a job, that you still have your health, right? Allowing yourself to really sink into that and reflect on that and expand that. So those are the 4 types of savoring. Now, what's interesting is savoring doesn't just have to happen in the moment, in the present moment. There's actually savoring that can happen in the past and in the future as well. And you're obviously familiar with this because think of the last time you planned a vacation. There was a lot of anticipatory savoring that you were engaging in, planning all the fun things you were going to do, the places you were going to visit, the outfits you were going to bring with you, right? So as we imagine the future, we can engage in anticipatory savoring. And as a leader, this is one way you can really engage your team in savoring in terms of setting a future vision of how things will be, of your goals that you're setting forth, of the impact that will have on your clients, on your team. So really getting people energized about a future vision is one way to do anticipatory savoring at work. Another way you can do savoring, like I said, is in the past, and that's reminiscing, right? So looking over photographs, sharing stories of success in the past, reliving moments where you really created meaning and impact, whether it was as a team or as a family, special memories. So those are ways that you can start to amplify the positive emotions, because good things are happening all the time. It's just a matter of, are we paying attention? So with that, my friends, I wish you all the best. I wish you many, many moments of savoring. What I would love to see in the comments below are, what is one thing that you have savored today? Go ahead and share that, because seeing other people's shares will actually help us savor more. So like any emotion, positive emotion is contagious. And so, oh, this is one other thing I want to share. By sharing your positive emotion, by sharing what you're savoring, you're capitalizing on it. Capitalizing is a term where it's like you're building upon it. So you can savor greater by sharing. And so next week, I'm going to talk to you about how do you respond when someone's sharing with you, because that's actually very important. But for now, capitalize on that savoring by including a comment below and tell me what you're savoring today. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notified when my videos come out. And next week, I'll talk to you about how do you reply and respond to someone's good news, because actually that has huge impacts on the quality of your relationship, more so than how you respond in bad news. So that's coming up next week. With that, you guys, I wish you all the best. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.